10th Air Force P-47s carried out widespread attacks as Allied teamwork forced new Jap withdrawals in Burma. This strike on Mogok, enemy forward supply base, came on January 4th as hard-fighting Chinese troops battled to open the Ledo-Burma route into China. The area was demolished and practically every building was set ablaze. On the same day, other 10th Air Force Thunderbolts flew against Mankat, north of Mogok, to drop 325-pound depth charges on camouflaged enemy troops and supplies. Allied pressure against the Jap was mounting rapidly. The day before, Akyab, biggest Burmese port west of Rangoon, had fallen to British and Indian forces. And as the 10th Air Force continued to burn Jap installations, further enemy retreat seemed imminent. On January 10th, bomb-carrying Thunderbolts struck at Boggio to wreck a railroad bridge over which Jap supplies were being moved. Direct hits with 500-pound general-purpose bombs tore up the bridge, tracks, and rail bed. This strike, to block movement of enemy reinforcements, came as Chinese troops closed on Nam Khan, Jap stronghold barring Allied use of the Ledo Road. Again on the following day, 10th Air Force fighters, in coordination with Chinese troops, attacked Kongka. Japs defending the area were well entrenched. Battling Chinese troops were suffering heavy casualties. 500-pounders and incendiaries rained on the enemy as P-47s bombed strong points and supply dumps. The same kind of teamwork occurred on January 14th, when Jap forces stalled advancing British troops near Ma Bien. The air-supplied British column had been forced to rout out the enemy yard by yard in the stiffest resistance yet encountered in the campaign for Mandalay. The Thunderbolts used bombs and bullets to smash the concealed bunkers from which the Japs were fighting. By week's end, close inter-allied cooperation had further buckled the enemy's position in Burma. Nam Khan was taken by Chinese troops. British and Indian forces continued their advance on Mandalay, and 10th Air Force P-38s had smashed the Lashio-Mandalay rail line, cutting off Jap forces in northeast Burma from a vitally needed line of supply and retreat. The following week, Theodore airstrip 20 miles south of Mandalay was blasted by 10th Air Force heavies. This raid on January 18th was made in conjunction with British ground forces closing on Mandalay from the north. 32 B-24s dropped 256 1,000-pound bombs to smash this vital enemy target. The Japs had been using Theodore as a fighter base from which to attack Allied ground troops and the air transports which supplied them. The bomb run was made at 6,000 feet. Ack was light and only medium accurate. No plane was damaged. All week long, heavy bombers smashed at Jap airfields as advancing Allied forces gathered momentum. By the 21st, Chinese troops had stormed into the border towns of Wanting and Muzay to clear the last of the enemy forces blocking the Ledo Road route. As the Jap retreated south from Wanting, American troops of the Mars Task Force slashed at his flanks. The clearing of the Ledo Road underlined Burma's importance as the gateway through which American supplies must flow from India to the China front, and highlighted the giant task of the service troops upon whom movement of these vital supplies must depend. On the same day the Ledo Road was opened, heavy bombers participated in the British invasion of Ramree Island. A pre-invasion barrage was laid along the coast by units of the British Navy. 8 minutes after landings began, 30 B-24s each dropped 52 100-pound fragmentation clusters on enemy strong points a mile inland from the beach. The attack, made in conjunction with British heavies, was extremely effective. The area was well covered with hits, and little enemy resistance was encountered afterwards by Allied landing forces. Seizure of Ramree Island, 50 miles south of Akyab, provides the Allies with a base for airfields flanking South Burma and places the enemy's port at Taungoup in a precarious position. At January's close, the enemy situation steadily grew worse as free Allied nations continued to strike powerful combined blows against Jap fascism wherever they could find it.